Hey everyone, welcome to Smart Architectural Programming, your go-to channel for programming insights and structural twist. This is the Intro to Java series that we are recording on our channel, which include a step-by-step guide into the world of Java programming. And this is also one of the videos that are part of our Introduction to Java book accompanying video series. And in this particular video, we're going to be diving into the central topic for all Java beginners, how you can iterate over arrays in Java, basically. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing with everything, if you have seen the previous videos, I will need to go over this again, but on the presumption that you haven't, let's focus on basically what an array is. Simply speaking, an array, before we start looping through the array, an array basically is in Java is a container that holds a fixed number of values of a single type. Think of it as a row of mailboxes, each with its own index. So just imagine as an array, a locker or mailboxes. So we have, let's say, 4 mailboxes in this locker, right? Each of them are numbered or have a unique identification mark on them, right? And it holds basically each of these boxes holds a certain amount of a certain value of the same type, right? And these indicators or that differentiate them are their index, basically. Exactly what data is stored at what index. That's the power of arrays to a degree. Each element can be accessed using the index number that it might have. I've numbered them 1, 2, 3, 4, but in most programming languages, including Java, everything starts with a 0, as this is 0 indexed. So now that we understand what an array is, let's move on and look into basically how you can start looping the looping basics for arrays, which is the for loop, right? So one of the most common ways to iterate over Java is using the for loop. And as you can see here, you have used the word numbers.length here to basically identify what the length of this loop should be, right? It gives us the total number of elements in the array. Just like that locker, it would tell us, hey, this locker has this row of lockers has 5 lockers or 6, and in this case there are 4 rows or values in this array. So we get that length here basically using this. This loop gives us a complete control, which means that it's great when we need the index values, but there's another more cleaner way to do this, and let's look into that, which is the enhanced for loop for iterating over arrays in Java, right? Again, if you don't care about index values and just want to access each value individually, we can use this enhanced for loop, or it's also known as the for each loop, basically, whatever takes your fancy, basically. So we use this when we don't need to modify the array's elements or track the index. So only use this when you don't need to work on the array, you just need to identify exactly what is in the array, right? So keep that in mind. Let's move, and because we've covered these in great detail in another video in our channel, you can move to that video, but for this video, this brief intro is more than enough for this video. Then we need to understand one of the most common mistakes that you can avoid when working with Java, which is basically some of the mistakes that beginners make when they're iterating over arrays in Java. If you can look at the screen right now, the numbers.length -1 is the last indexed. Going over 1, Java will crash your party with an exception, basically. So here what it tried to do here, basically, we're printing this value here, and once we go outside the bounds of the array, because it says I is less than equals to number.length. Number.length, if we have 7 values in an array, it gives us the value 7, right? There's 7 values here, but the index is not 7. The final index is 6. So when we say less than equals to, when it comes to 7, it raises the area index out of bounds exception. So keep in this mind, this is because every array is 0 indexed. So it starts from 0. If it had 7 values, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Which makes it 7 values, so on and so forth. So keep that in mind. This is one of the most common mistakes beginners make. So now that we have gone over that, let's move into how you can modify elements while looping through arrays. What if you want to modify the array's elements as you loop through them? Use the index based for loop basically. What do I mean by that? So the enhanced loop won't let you modify elements directly. It works and copies the values in the array. So for this you need to use the for loop, which allows you to work with index. So that is how you can modify values in a loop. But within the loop you need to access the specific value using the square bracket method, and then use an assignment sign, and after that on the right of that you can assign whatever value you want to assign to that square notation. Here we want to multiply the existing value by 2 and assign that multiplication result onto that particular index value, and that's what we're doing here. So let's move on to another thing, which is using arrays with methods basically. So we can pass arrays to methods and iterate them through those methods as well. So there's a method called print array that we can use, and basically it helps us to keep our code modular, more so than I think here we're creating a print array value here, a function here, and this function we're defining would basically do the iteration process. We created a modular function which we can call to basically print out the values in an array all through that, and this helps keep our code modular and reusable. And this is one of the key principles to architecture of your software programs. So keep this in mind. This is a brief primer on how you need to think like a professional when you're using arrays in Java. And that's it. Arrays are foundational in Java, and mastering iteration is your first step towards more complex data structures. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell, so you don't miss our next video in the series. Up next, we'll tackle on multidimensional arrays. And don't forget to follow along in our book, Introduction to Java, published by us here at Smart Architectural Programming. With that, I'll sign off and see you in our next video. Thank you.